Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel on this absolutely gorgeous Saturday. Before we get into the news that I really have to address, being Polish, it's not easy to bring those words, but I think it's about time some Polish citizens will wake up to the narrative they have been fed with, like with the junk food. I want to say that from now on, every video I will start with the clips of the views where I am currently, and also I will end them with views from either museums or just views from the outside, from whatever city or country I am currently at. And where I am right now, guys, this is the bridge that connects the Cathedral of Christ the Savior that is actually currently going through some renovation, and this is the Moscow River. You can take a boat, which I will do one day, and then you have a view from another side. So we will be walking together. This is one of my favorite walks, and I will be giving you the news. Actually, the words from President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, addressing specifically the behavior of Poland. I have two articles to bring to your attention. The first one is, of course, from TASS, because I actually trust TASS more than any other at this point. I know that each side has its own perception. However, being Polish and quite aware of what they are doing there, I have a little bit more understanding that an average person who watches the news from Poland and has no idea, even those who live there, they still believe in the narrative. So TASS has reported yesterday on July 21st, and the title of this article is "Joint Polish-Lithuanian-Ukrainian Military Unit Might Be Used to Occupy Ukraine. Putin warns." I have a lot of reads, so let's go through this. I'll find a place to sit down in a sec. Putin stresses that if Polish units enter Lvov or some Russian territories in Ukraine, they will be staying there to remain on the ground for good. Plans might be in the works to use an intended Polish-Lithuanian-Ukrainian joint military unit as an occupation force in western Ukrainian territories, and any Polish forces entering Lvov are certain to remain there, Russian President Vladimir Putin said at the working meeting of the Security Council that I believe took place yesterday. Here are his words. I cannot but comment on what has just been said by Russian Foreign Intelligence Service, SVR, Director Sergei Narishkin, and on the press reports that have appeared about plans to create a so-called Polish-Lithuanian-Ukrainian unit. Sorry guys, I found a place to sit down, which is fantastic. Right next to this beautiful Bielaya Baroza tree. Continue. So, I cannot but comment on what has just been said by Russian Foreign Intelligence Service, I said this, and the director Sergei Narishkin, and on the press reports that have appeared about plans to create a so-called Polish-Lithuanian-Ukrainian unit. We are not talking here about some monthly crew of mercenaries. There are enough of them there in Ukraine already, and they are being destroyed, but rather about a regular, well-oiled, well-equipped military formation that is planned to be used for operations on the territory of Ukraine, Putin said. In particular, this is being done for ensuring the security of contemporary Western Ukraine, but in fact, if you call things by the proper names, for the subsequent occupation of the territories. After all, the future outlook is obvious. If Polish units ever enter Lvov, for example, or some other territories in Ukraine, then they will be staying put there. And they will remain there for good, he added. History lessons for Poland, it's the part of this article, and it says, according to the Russian head of state, Vladimir Putin, his words now, this will not represent anything new, recalling that after the defeat of Germany and the other Central Powers in World War I, Polish units occupied Lvov and lands which were then part of Austria-Hungary. Goaded by the West, Putin says, Poland took advantage of the tragedy of Russia's civil war to annex certain historically Russian provinces. Our country, which was then going through a difficult period, was forced to sign the Treaty of Riga in 1921 and de facto recognize the alienation of its own territories. Moreover, even before 1920, Poland seized post of Lithuania, the Vilna region. So after 1920, Poland has seized that region of Lithuania, the Vilna region, which includes modern-day Vilnius. Now, more words from Putin. Together with the Lithuanians, they, read Poles, were supposedly battling against so-called Russian imperialism, but as soon as the opportunity arose, they immediately carried out a chunk of land from their neighbor. Putin noted. Poland also took part in the carve-up of Czechoslovakia, resulting from the Munich Agreement with Hitler in 1938, completely occupying Cieszyn Silesia. In the 1920s and 1930s, the so-called Kresy Wschodnie, in English is translated Eastern Borderlands of Poland. In the 1920s and 1930s, the so-called Kresy Wschodnie of Poland, and this includes the territory of Western Ukraine, Western Belarus, and part of Lithuania, were subjected to a harsh policy of Polonization and forced assimilation of local residents, suppression of ethnic cultures, and Orthodox Christianity, Putin added. He also recalled that such an aggressive policy ultimately ended for Poland with the loss of the national independence and statehood in 1939, which were later restored to a large extent thanks to the Soviet Union. The Western territories of present day, this is the quote I actually put, this video I put on my community page, so you can go there and see him saying this. The Western territories of present day Poland were Stalin's gift to the Poles. Have our friends in Warsaw forgotten about this? We will remind them, he said. So those are exact words from President Putin himself. And I have to tell you, I have one more thing. So let me go through this and then I will give you my personal take on this, okay? The second article is from the other side of the coin. You know what side? It's from The Guardian. And there is an article with an image. I will actually start with this image because if you click on the link, you will see there is a picture of Błaszczak, who I've mentioned many times. He's the Minister of National Defense, the mysterious rocket disaster in the middle of the forest, that guy. And right next to him, you have the one and only Ambassador of United States to Poland, Mark Brzeziński, yes, son of Zbigniew Brzeziński. Again, I've mentioned him before many times. And that picture is taken somewhere in some place where the soldiers, Polish army is stationed, whatever it is, I have no idea, I didn't read that. But it's interesting how they actually post this picture on The Guardian with Mark Brzeziński, that represents United States, right next to the disaster situation with the rocket and Błaszczak. So, you have this image down below, but let's go into this Guardian thing. I'm not gonna read you the whole thing because you don't need to hear it really. You're gonna hear it from 1,000 other news the same way. But it says Putin warns Poland. Putin warns Poland against unleashing aggression against Belarus. So Putin warns Poland against the aggression that Poland wants to pursue towards Belarus. And it says, anything else? Yes, I have few more words. It says this: Vladimir Putin has said that Russia will use all means at its disposal to defend Belarus after Poland and other EU countries voiced after. Sorry guys, I got sidetracked. Vladimir Putin has said that Russia will use all means at its disposal to defend Belarus after Poland and other EU countries voiced concerns about the deployment of Russian paramilitary near their borders. So those are two articles. Now what I want to say from me. Okay, again, absolutely not a military expert, and of course not expert in politics, just someone who watches from the outside and puts quite a lot of time to understand as much as I can, see through this BS and through their shenanigans. So they have created now this situation which would be very convenient for the Wall Street, whoever is behind it, investing money in this project, to have this tension on the border between Poland and Belarus. Now, Putin is aware of it, as we know, and he's saying what he's saying. Now, in a way, he's giving them the message. He's giving them the warning, right? He is, not in a way, he is, because he sees it. But what they are going to do, they're gonna take his words now and, of course, use it against him, right? So they're gonna say he's going to, sorry for the noise, always noise here, by the way, always, since winter. So they're gonna use his words and say, you see, there is now this military action going on because Putin is the aggressor and he's going to attack Poland. So now how they are going to justify any military operation in that region, or even, taking people to the army, putting the uniforms on them, and then, hello, what is this all about? Postponing the election. Yes, postponing the election. That's all about. So they're gonna do this because there is danger. And now in this situation, when we have so much danger, how can we vote? Read Ukraine situation, right? I'm telling you guys, this is just my personal opinion. They have created this situation to such a level of tension. It's so convenient to those who are sponsoring this. And on the top of it, you have the picture in The Guardian that is showing you someone who represents United States, Brzeziński, right next to the Minister of National Defense of Poland. Is it coincidence? I'm asking. I don't think so. So the warning is there from the Kremlin, from Putin. Are they gonna pay attention to this? I don't think so. I think in a way, unfortunately, it sounds crazy what I want to tell you, but unfortunately, I think they actually might be rejoicing at this because this gives them an opportunity to have some form of action implemented there. And then, let's just be honest, we know how they play this game, right? Everything they say is the opposite. So it's like a fabric. Whatever they say, you have to like turn it around, turn it upside down on the other side. They say they will help you, that means they will destroy you. They say they will protect you, it means you're definitely not safe. They say they want to save your life, Luke Schmovit. Yeah, watch out for your life. It's for your good, it's for your safety, yada, 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 yada. So, a little rant from me, guys, but you know what? It's good to express the opinions while I still can. Fingers crossed. And on that note, Locals is the place to find me if you value my content, because that is a stable place and you have the link down below, so join me there. Many things I'm trying to not to say here because you know why. This is the only news I have for you, but I think it is very important news because it can change completely the dynamic of the next few weeks and even months. I don't think it's gonna end well, unfortunately. It just depends how far it will go. That's all I have for you guys. I will end this video here, and like I said in the beginning, I will attach some clips from the views from the areas where I'm going. So if you're interested in seeing more of Moscow, stick around. Lots of love to all of you. I appreciate each one of you. Leave that like if you enjoy the content, if you appreciate the content, and subscribe to my channel. Soon I have 3-year anniversary, and it would be nice to have this 80,000 subscribers. A little gift. And what else? My Instagram is a great place to travel with me, to see the restaurants, the museums, the places I go to, and some of my fashion. Join my mailing list, find me on Rumble, and I see you tomorrow in another video. I'm heading right there and you see more of it in a second. Bye everyone!